In a world crying out for Thunderdome. The fans have spoken. 2 films enter, 1 film leaves. The top 10 gives you a reckoning by the name of Thunderdome.
Thunderdome.
Brought to you by the Schmoes Know Network. Take it away, boys. Welcome, everybody, to this week's Thunderdome. This is the top 10 show. This is John Roca.
I am Matt Nost. How are you, bud?
I'm good. I've been fighting some stuff off for the last few days. So if I cough inadvertently or get something caught in my chest, I want to apologize to you and the fans listening. But I am struggling through it. And just as soon as we're done recording, all the shows recording tonight, I'm going to go straight home and fall the F asleep and hopefully wake up in a better place.
It's a good feeling when you can do that, you know, like, oh, God, I've been going a million miles a minute. And just finally tonight is, I don't have anything to wake up for tomorrow.
Oh, you lucky
I sleep
son
so
of a
much better. Well, I'm not saying me. I'm saying when you get to that point where you're just like, I can sleep tomorrow.
Yeah.
I can actually... That's the best, because anytime that I have any kind of alarm to get up, I never get as good a sleep as opposed to...
Oh.
I can sleep the same amount of time, 6 hours.
Right.
But it's knowing the imperiled, like I have to get up and get going and I got to go do this and this, whereas when I wake up and I can ease into my day today.
Yeah.
I can just breeze through and I enjoy my coffee and, you know, get on whatever websites, like, you know, to see the stats and the highlights from last night and all that jazz.
That's what was so great about the vacation. I got so accustomed to not getting out of till 11 o'clock, going to bed at midnight. I broke my pattern that I'd had. So recapturing the pattern again when I came back to work was harder for me the first week. It was really tough.
Yeah.
Because I was like, God damn. And so I was having to force myself to go to sleep at like 11 o'clock so I could have enough sleep to have energy for the day. But it was not easy. It was not easy. So.
No, it's an easy thing to train yourself into.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like every once and again, I'll have a night where I just don't sleep well.
Oh, really?
It happens probably like 4 times throughout the year.
Right.
6 times throughout the year. It's every once and again.
Yeah.
And it fully throws my sleep schedule off then for like the next 5 days as I try and just get back into my normal. It's the worst. It's the worst. Because there are certain times where just like, my wife is getting up.
Yeah.
She's got an early day and I'm still awake watching a movie.
Oh, shit.
On my phone. It happens every once and again. And she'll look and you haven't slept? No, I haven't slept.
Wow.
And I'm only going to get X today. And then occasionally it will happen on a day where I don't have anything to do, but that's pretty rare. It's usually for whatever reason. I've got so much on my plate that I guess I'm subconsciously worried about it.
Yeah.
And just not sleeping. I watched 2 movies and 3 episodes of this TV show and just like, where's the night gone?
You got that stand-up body. That's what it is. You got that stand-up schedule.
Training myself to stay up till...
Yep.
I can easily stay up till 4 o'clock every night.
Oh.
Easy peasy.
I couldn't do it. I can't do that anymore. I can't.
Sleep till 10:30, get up.
God.
Start my day.
Yeah.
I can easily do that.
My body automatically wakes up at 7 or 8. Automatically. It's frustrating.
Yeah, thankfully, I haven't trained myself into that.
Yeah. You're lucky.
That's the one I think, yeah.
Speaking of terrible things, we have been asked to talk about these 2
Do you want me to take over? Because
please, you do it.
Literally, through gritted teeth. Just
Matt,
explain.
You do this, Matt. I can't.
That the fans colluded against you.
Yes, they did. This collusion.
It is collusion.
And I don't need a special counsel to tell me.
Exactly. We
I
don't
know
have
collusion.
We don't have to. And the problem is in this instance, Vox Populi, Vox Dei, the voice of the people is the voice of God. So there's nothing we can do to defy that.
I had no idea that our Patreon would come back and fuck me over. I just had no idea.
It's as we discussed off air, it's going to happen to both of us, I'm sure, a few times. If we ever bring up something, be like, oh my God, I hate that movie. Someone will store it away and eventually bring it up. Yeah. And I want to know if there was back channel messaging.
Oh yeah.
That's what I want to get records for, just to see how far into the rabbit hole we have to go before.
I've already spoken to my team of lawyers about investigating the Facebook chat messages between Alexakos and Silvestrini. And
your lawyer's got to love you.
Listen, I constantly keep them busy on stuff.
You just got them on retainer, and you come in and you're like, hey, what about this? And they're like, oh, yeah, it sounds like a problem. They walks out and they're like, dude, easy 30 billable hours. Easy. We got this guy. This is awesome.
Retainer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they conspired to put Clue against the Goonies.
The Goonies.
Ugh.
It was 80s classics as proposed by Martin, and I don't know how to pronounce it. It's B-O-R-A-K, but there's an accent over the A.
Borak?
Borak?
Oh, Borak.
I don't know. I don't know.
Borak?
Borak. Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
You could sell me on.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
You know what it stands for?
It's a gentleman is what it stands for.
It stands for fucking Roka Over. That's what it stands for. It's short.
It stands for. Look, he just set it up. That's all he did. You want to talk to Alexakos coming out the gate going, messaging me going, boom, I want Clue just within minutes.
All right.
Within minutes.
Because him and Kristen Smith had been going back and forth about it, and then they made it happen. So I call that collusion. This is akin to what LeBron and Wade and Bosch did during the Olympics, setting themselves up to go play for Miami at the same time.
Yeah, but now you're saying it's a full conspiracy because then Anthony Casanova comes in and he's got Goonies. So you're saying that he was part of this back channel discussion as well?
Because he was watching the discussion happening both on the Facebook page and then in the back channel area. I don't doubt that there's a separate, chat thread with all these fuckers on it.
Let me ask you something.
And I say that lovingly.
Secondary, but it'll help color our perception of the overall situation.
Sure.
Do you believe we landed on the moon?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I just didn't know how far into the conspiracy hole we were going here.
Oh. Do I believe we landed on the moon?
Oh, this is ponderable? All right, Kyrie. So the Earth is flat?
No, the Earth is not flat. That's faux show. But the landing on the moon thing is an interesting thing. I go back and forth on it. The reason is because we've never gone back. Why have we never gone back? Why have we never landed on the moon again?
Because the moon doesn't have resources that we need to extract from it. Now it'll be a way station for trips to Mars, trips elsewhere. Right. So eventually we will build on it.
If in the future, in some nutty way, I become president, I will absolutely command that there be a NASA mission to the moon. And I will shut down all the movie studios, production companies, so no one's going to trick me. So no one's going to trick me that they staged a moon landing.
Look, if your convictions are this strong, there's no way you vacillate back to the other side going, nope, no, we did it. We did it. If you want to go through the rigors of shutting down an entire industry, I don't know how you do that, dictator Roca.
I'm just saying, hey, I'm Latino. It's in my blood to be a dictator. But listen,
South American blood, yes. South American, that's for damn sure. Well, you want to watch it back because the CIA is peering through the blinds over there. Your days are numbered. I don't know how many of those guys lived that long. How long did Bolivar go?
That's true.
How long did?
Not too long.
Yeah.
Or Che or
unless you're Castro, but he's not really South American.
They tried to kill. They tried to kill the beard.
Of course they did.
They couldn't get it done. Couldn't get her done.
Gave him a scuba suit laced with what was it? Cyanide or something.
But apparently we can land on the moon. Okay. But I go back and forth because I also think sometimes you know how many people would have to be conspired to make it not happen?
How many people would the thousands that would have had to have been carrying this lie to the grave? That's what doesn't make sense. What do we gain out of it?
Yeah.
Eventually we just be found out as frauds.
It was status for us at the time of the space race.
But we have all this technology that came from the space program.
Yeah.
So it just doesn't make sense.
I agree. Today I agree.
We'd have to perpetually keep up this ruse and then eventually say the fucking moon is haunted so people don't go there? How do we stop other nations? That's the other problem.
The moon is haunted?
Yeah, I don't... Hey, trust me, something is happening over there.
There's blood coming out of the walls. Yeah, you don't want to go there.
It looks desolate, but it is not. It's not Transformers Dark of the Moon or any ridiculousness like that, but it's pretty spooky
You
up there.
You bite your tongue.
Well, there was that other one where there was
The second one's the worst one. Everybody
well, I mean, I'm talking about that other moon ones where the dark side of the moon is some hellscape.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it's just as good an excuse to make a movie on some level, I guess, as any other.
Yeah. Well, I wonder about it all because Yeah, I wonder why we never went back. And a lot of people say that. And also, the same people who told us that we landed on the moon are the same people that said there was no UFOs, and now all this stuff's been coming out recently. Like Trump unlocked all these files and shit on UFOs, and we see these videos that have come out. So there's possibility that obviously there's UFOs. So, there's otherworldly shit that could be happening here we don't know about just yet. So it's certainly possible that we thought we could land on the moon, and we staged it just for status in the space race. And you're right, we did technology, but then it was in an effort to shut down the Russians to show we're more advanced than the Russians. So I don't put it out of the realm possibility. I'll say that. But I do believe at my core that we did land on the moon, and Neil Armstrong had all that, and one small step and all that jazz. So I do believe that, but there's a little piece of me that's like wouldn't be surprised if we never landed on the moon.
I think we need to work on your definition of little, because that piece of you is not some grain of sand on the beach of John.
No.
This is prime real estate. You got umbrellas up. There's lounge chairs. It's a nice section.
It's a nice Bombay club.
Exactly. This might be the best, the Lake Havasu of Outlaw Nation. You got a nice prime bit of real estate over there.
Totally, man.
Yeah.
Totally. Anyway, so
they set it up.
Back to the collusion of the top 10 Facebook group, which you suggested that we do. So this conspiracy could go all the way back to you, possibly.
Look, am I happy that Goonies was in this, and it was an excuse to watch Goonies again, even though I just watched it a month ago?
Oh my God,
you
really like it though, don't you?
Oh, I love Goonies.
Oh goddamn,
it's an absolute gem of a classic.
Oh,
it is.
I don't think you're using those words right.
I most certainly am. Where does your fault lie with it?
When the timer hits 00001, and then at 1:53:38 when the film
I'm talking
ends.
about
in between
specific instances
and everything in between,
where you're just like, this loses me here.
It never gets me from the beginning. This whole stupidity of Corey Feldman. Look, listen, guys. If you're listening to Sammy fake like I like this movie, I wish you the best of luck. That's not going to happen. But the whole Corey Feldman, he's annoying as shit through the whole movie.
Come on,
the mother coming in.
He's the wisecracking. Like, he's only used so much, but it's to offset Sean Astin's character is so earnest.
Yes.
But it's identifiable. That's the kid I would like to believe that I'd be in that group. So I've always.
But you're not. You're a smartass, so you'd be Mouth.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be a dick like that.
No. Right, you're not a dick, but you're a smartass, so you'd be like Mouth, but
better. Just because
Mouth.
I said I aspired to something as a child doesn't mean that I remotely attained that as an adult.
That's fair.
Yeah. I'm not, but it's like it had so many different all the characters for me fit beautifully. They all fill little parts, and they help this overall machine kind of go.
None of it is earned. None of it. Not a fucking second of it is earned, in my opinion. The kids, they're friends, but like Mouth is so annoying. They torture their fat friend to do the truffle shuffle outside.
Mouth tortures.
Yeah, Mouth does. Right. Well, homie doesn't stop him till after he does the truffle shuffle.
Yeah, but he's stopped him enough times, so he's just like he's tired at that point. He's like, stop it.
See, you're adding that. I I don't know that.
You see it in his performance. You do. You see it in like this again.
Right.
This again, and even Chunk doesn't want to do it, but he's like, fine. This disgusted and like just resigning himself to the fact that he does it.
And then we have this stupid little contraption that they build. Just walk down the fucking stairs. Just walk down the stairs and open the fucking gate. Why do you have to make this stupid little contraption?
Because the next day your house is getting demolished, so why not have fun before you go?
Sure, I guess.
In the mystery of like your dad just has all the overflow from an exhibit from a few years ago, and it's just sitting up in the attic.
Yeah, what's that all about?
And you stumble
it's all just sitting there.
And
they just stumble upon the map, and they stumble upon this adventure, and they stumble upon everything.
That's every movie. Every movie has the design of like this sparks this.
Right. But every movie does, the ones that do it right, they do it organically, and this was all like convenient. Everything's super convenient in this whole movie. Even like Robert Davi gets out of the prison by faking a hanging. And where did he get a pipe in the back of his trousers? Where did he sneak a pipe in the back of his trousers?
Because it's a kid's movie.
See?
It's a kid's movie.
That's the problem. I like it. I like kids' movies that are believable and fun and interesting. Like Stand By Me. That's a kid's movie.
That is not a kid's movie. That is not a kid's movie.
Those are all kids.
Yeah, those are kids, but that is not a kid's movie. There's a difference between the two.
For me, it's a kid's movie. Because I remember being 14 years old, going on an adventure, doing those kinds of things and whatever.
I didn't grow up in the Dust Bowl. Through the grapes of wrath. I had a nice childhood, and to see, I'm not saying it's the Dust Bowl, but that's Dust Bowl mentality. The world is a harsh place, and you need to grow up, is what Stand By Me is saying.
Well, so does the Goonies, because they're losing their house. They're all going to move away.
They're having this once-in-a-lifetime ridiculous adventure.
They're all making dick jokes.
They're hunting a pirate's treasure, for Christ's sake.
They're making dick jokes at such a young age about that statue of David.
You don't give a shit that the 4 kids are going to go see a dead body.
Well, no, of course not, because that's an adventure thing. You're going to see what the dead body is.
Which adventure would you rather have as a child watching a movie?
Not one for dicks. Yes, go ahead.
Please, you didn't tell dick jokes as a kid? A, and B, as a kid, would you rather find a dead body or a pirate fucking ship with treasure?
Of course.
Once again, so kids movie appealing to kids of a certain age. This thing is a classic. It's like a Sandlot. Yeah. I still enjoy it. I love that movie, but I wish I'd seen it as a kid because I would love it 100-fold over
Sandlot?
what I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which the look on your face says you're not a fan. You're not. That's fine. That's fine. Look, let me just ask you one simple question. When did you die inside?
What kind of accusation is that?
I'm just saying. This is a fun romp where you enjoy the ride, the frivolity of it.
We were having this discussion with some of the people here at Collider, and they're like, what happened to you as a child? This is the common retort, right? But it's just that I had a fun childhood going out and doing adventures and things of that nature. But I guess I was always just a darker kid, so some of these kids' movies didn't appeal to me. But also, I think some of this kind of uber white humor, some of it doesn't interest me or attract me or get me for waspish humor. It doesn't quite grab me. And I think there's a lot of that in this movie, a lot of that definitely in Clue. And so I think sometimes these movies
it's lampooning that.
Right.
On some level.
But I will take Murder by Death over Clue. I will absolutely watch Murder by Death before I ever see Clue, and that's a parody of those kinds of things. And so for me, it just has I just don't do it. And the kids are super annoying. They're doing super annoying things. Chunk won't stop eating everything. I like the Asian kid. He's cool.
Data?
Data's cool. Data's got, for some reason, he's.
You don't like Bran? You don't like the two girls, Plimpton, and I can't remember the actress's name.
Kelly something, I think. No, I like the girls. They're cool, but they're all. How can I say? Like, none of it is like she's what? She's riding in the car. With the jerk.
With the guy that she thinks she should be with because he's the most popular. He's got the most money. He's got the nicest car. It's.
Yeah, but you're adding all that. I don't know that she said I should be with this guy.
No, she's not.
Popular.
But by being in that car, I think it's implying that she's one of the most coveted girls then. And at most high schools, that girl goes out with the super popular rich kid, blah, 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 blah. In every movie you see, for sure.
And then she tries to...
From the 80s especially.
And the guy tries to kill Josh Brolin, literally tries to kill Josh Brolin.
He
sends him off, and who knows where he could break his neck.
True.
Right, yeah.
But at the same time, you tell me high school kids weren't doing dipshit pranks like that, even when you were in high school.
Well, sure, but that's the thing. Is it a kid's movie or is it not a kid's movie? That's the thing. Is the question.
That's kids being cruel to other kids.
Hardcore.
That's not, that's life on some level. It's a cartoonish version of it, but
there's gunplay in this movie. There's swordplay in this movie. So to me, it's not a kid's movie. It's not a kid's movie. It is. People can die.
It's a
kid's movie. Not a kid's movie.
Yeah. But if people can die in the same way they could on the A-Team TV show. They fall out of frame and no one ever dies. So everything that happens, no one ever dies. When they light like the fire around the police precinct when he initially, or the prison when he gets out, nobody dies. They just get stopped by the flame.
Right.
And the waterfall comes and they slip on it and they crack each other's nuts. Pantaleone and nobody dies. They just hurt themselves.
Yeah, and that's my frustration with the movie is...
You want people to die?
No, it's just that it's stupidly unbelievable. Like, it's just stupidly... Like, the whole flames around the cops... You think the cops are that incompetent that a square thing of flame would stop them from stopping this guy who's breaking out of prison, who's obviously a criminal, and they chase him down. They would never find him. Really, and it's such a small town, they're not going to find the Fratellis. So just all of it is some terrible detective work, I imagine. But all of it is so convenient and easy. And even what's her face, Ramsey, who's presented as this like kind of vicious Ma Barker, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, she is.
She's so incompetent half the fucking time, and you're just like, well, how am I supposed to feel these kids are in danger if these guys are so comically inept and stupid? Whereas in Home Alone, Daniel Stern and Joe Pesci, as comically inept as they can be, it's still, the threat is still believable. And I never at any point believed Davi and Joey Pants and Ann Ramsey are going to actually be any kind of threat to these kids. They seem so stupid. He's randomly breaking out into song for no fucking reason at all. It's just nuts.
I think that's a family just doing whatever a family does. Like, I don't, for whatever reason, you just do not want to enjoy the film because that's all it is. It's all it's meant to do is. It's not meant to educate. It is not meant to exist in any kind of real capacity.
Right.
It's just meant to entertain. That is it. That is a movie that was made for pure fun.
Sure.
What, EP by Spielberg?
Yes, I think so.
And then, is that a Chris Columbus? Is that a...
It's Donner. Or
is it a Richard Donner?
Yeah, it's Richard Donner, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Who has an uneven career. Like, people love his Superman, but, like, he did other films that weren't necessarily as good, but then, obviously, people love Goonies, so...
By people, I would imagine the vast majority of moviegoers that enjoy that film. My sister couldn't wait to show her son, and he loves it. He's 4 now.
Yeah. He's 4?
Yeah.
That makes sense. If you're 4.
I think,
can't process
what year did that come out?
You can't analyze films at 4 years old.
1980 what? 5, 6?
Yes.
You don't have to. This is meant to be just a good time. What movie from your childhood is meant to be a good time that you know fails at the capacity or level that you're asking of this film?
I don't know any.
What years are we talking?
All my films are
6 to 10. What years?
That's all the knee deep of the hardcore 70s films. French Connection, Godfather 2. This is what I'm watching at 6 years old.
But what did you go see at the theater? You're telling me your dad? Look, he loved Amadeus.
But that's 83.
Yeah, exactly. I'm saying he's got taste. I will agree with him there.
I was into epic films at a young age, man.
There's no way he's taking you to Chinatown when you're 7. No. It's not happening. So there had to be something they would say, what was it, the Apple Dumpling Game? I can see
Apple
why.
Dumpling Game is great.
Yeah, it sucks.
I love the Apple Dumpling Gang.
Like yes. Pippi Longstocking?
Yeah, no, I didn't like Pippi, but I remember Incredible Mr. Limpet, the Don Knotts when he turns into a fish.
Yes.
That's the one. I was into those. I was into the Jerry Lewis movies. I was into...
Okay, now you want to talk about not real, ridiculous,
well, sure, of course.
stupid.
But I know that going in.
As a child?
This is a film trying to take itself seriously, and it's not.
This film does not. It does not. In no way does this film try and impart some sort of message or something.
What was it? The Lavender... It was it?
How can you not love this movie? It's an underdog rising to the challenge and escaping the clutches of this monolithic force that's going to destroy the town.
What movie did you watch? What are you talking about? What monolithic force is trying to destroy the town?
The guys that want to buy up all the country club guys that want to buy all these houses and just expand the country club.
Right. It's fair.
Or turn it into condos or whatever the case is.
Yeah. Or Sandtrap, which is
and now they have enough jewels to where he doesn't have to sign, and they could probably, my guess is, use that to help anybody else out.
The ill-gotten gains,
Ill-gotten gain. Look,
well, who's One-Eyed Pete's? One-Eyed Pete's heritage.
One-Eyed Willie.
Yeah, One-Eyed Willie's heritage.
Well, who did he rob from?
I really hope there's nothing comes up for this on the Schmoedown. We will be so fucked. I'm sorry. If I have to answer the question, a 3-point question, we'll be so fucked. Data.
His house is probably gone. He lives right across the alley.
Yeah,
his house is gone.
Yeah.
And everybody else that identifies themselves as Goonies, they live in the Goondocks. My guess is the Goondocks are what's being taken down.
Where are these kids' parents? How are they allowed to run off for so long?
You didn't do that as a kid? I did.
Yeah, I did. You can't do that now.
I had to be home by a certain time. That's it.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'd be like, oh, hey, I'm going to Mike's house, or I'm going to Pete's house, and that's it.
Then they bring in the Spanish maid, the stereotypical Spanish maid doesn't speak English. I love those. Love those stupid jokes where Corey Feldman's telling her where the drugs are. Ain't that funny to make this woman feel all freaked out? What a dick he is.
I think it's more so just what a dick he is.
Right. That's right. That's why I don't like him, because I got a friend like that for a dick. A dick like that for a friend.
Had she been Eastern European or?
Nobody. How about nothing? How about she's just a regular fucking white woman that they're just messing with? That's certainly possible.
Well, because then
they had white maids back then.
Yeah, it is. But at the same time, you couldn't do the same joke of I'm just going to say whatever I want to in Spanish, and she's going to assume.
That's right. You could actually have to respect somebody. That's right.
Well, it's not like she played a caricature of Latina. She was just a woman that speaks Spanish and was like, what? This house is crazy.
Right. You're right. She did not play a caricature, which I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
I give her credit.
So it was mainly just Mouse being a dick.
Yeah, Mouse being a dick.
Yeah.
Which I didn't like. Because there's no punishment for him. There's no consequence for him. He doesn't lose an arm or a leg or anything during his whole adventure.
Jesus.
Listen, I don't like the kid.
Jesus. You want to maim him?
That's right.
Just for
starters.
Just for saying the cucarachas and then the heroin goes in this drawer.
Yeah.
You want to maim a kid.
And appreciate it.
Oh, wow.
making sexual jokes.
Whenever you take over as president, that is a dark day in this country. Jesus.
Yes and no. It depends on what your point of view is.
Yeah, but I imagine free press no longer exists with you.
What? Of course it does.
Yeah, but a kid is running his mouth and you want him to lose an arm or a leg.
That's true. There's nothing wrong with that.
So the free press can just say whatever they want to? Oh, okay.
They're adults.
It's just private citizens
Yeah,
below
right.
the age of 18.
Below the age of 12.
You demand Maoist type of devotion.
I feel like you're twisting this around.
Really not. I'm just connecting dots here so people know. When this comes, you'll be on my side. Feel the burn over here. Because we're not taking it.
What did that little kid say? Cut his arm off.
Yeah. Like, oh.
No, but he has a track record of being a dick. So if you have a track record, then he should have some kind of consequence punishment. One occasional statement is not, But a track record like that guy had through the whole movie. And that was the thing, like nothing seemed to affect them. Like they were never really in any kind of danger. So I don't even get to like have my suspension of disbelief that they could be in danger because they're never really legitimately in danger at any point in the whole movie. And that's why I can't enjoy the adventure because they're never really in danger.
The falling boulders, the walking across the log, and then that all starts. Then the organ where the floor is falling out from underneath them.
Yeah.
Then it goes to the scene after that where they cut an octopus out because they're probably like, they can't overcome that after having overcome what you feel wasn't treacherous enough for kids. Kids, this is a kids movie.
Yeah, well, if you're gonna go get a pirate's treasure, you're gonna have to have realistic obstacles.
These obstacles, the booby traps, stopped Chester Copperpot.
They do.
Or Cobblepot. Cobblepot.
Oh boy, we better get that right. Cobblepot.
Yeah, it might come up. It might not. I think it's Cobblepot. It didn't get him.
Right.
I mean, pardon me, they got him, and these kids managed to get through that. Like these were deadly enough that they killed a grown man.
They did. And these kids somehow found their way around it somehow.
Well, because at that point they'd already they'd seen it, and they're like, well, there's going to be traps along the way, which they almost got stuck in. Data fell into that pit.
Yeah, he does.
And he had the pinchers of power and shoot that up and hold on the springs and the stupidity of that. And he's fucking go-go gadget his arms and just shoots that up. I loved every second of that. I still do. When I watched it a month ago, I was like, this movie is still amazing.
Yeah, I don't know. This
crazy. Movie is it's fantastic.
It's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. And the whole thing with Troy and the girl and the Josh Brolin character, like, her like randomly wanting to kiss him at random moments that made no sense at all. All of that was just like
she's experiencing a lot in that short amount of time.
Is that what's going on?
Young
then her
brains
fake flip out
biochemically are all over the place, and she's just trying to process the
Martha
situation.
Plimpton kept it together the whole time.
She's at a different point in her life. Apparently.
She is. Yeah,
she's a more centered individual.
She's taking crabs out of a basin or whatever that is, that a barrel that she's when you first see her dipping her head in the water and pulling her head back at the beginning when the whole police chase is happening, where they apparently two cop cars can't catch a Range Rover. Apparently,
she dunked her head into and pulled out a lobster or something.
Yeah, I remember like in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, I know, because
they're going by.
Chunk
her head is
presses up his shake or whatever that is, and pizza slice up against the window.
Yeah, when they go past the wharf or whatever, or the pier, Martha Plimpton is her head.
Why am I blanking?
It's underwater, and she comes out, and she's like,
oh, yeah, she pushes her hair back.
But she's got a lobster in her hand. Or a crab. She has a crab in her hand. I'm sorry, crab or something like that.
Somehow I've not noticed that in the probably 30 times I've seen that movie.
Yeah, because you want to like this movie, so you're going to excuse all the shit that doesn't make any sense.
I love that everybody calls Chunk on his lies because he's just a little pathological liar.
Right.
And then eventually when he is telling the truth in the end, and they all have to respect that fact. Yeah. But even the cops are like, oh, is this like that one time? And he's like, no, this is for real. I love everything with him. They're like, we want to hear everything. Everything? Everything. Okay. And this one time in third grade, it's so good.
Oh, it's the most annoying moment.
It's so good.
I went to fat camp. It was just like, if they're supposed to be real criminals, they would not be sitting there listening to this fat fucking kid.
But that's why it's made.
On and on about his
it's a
shit.
kid's movie, so they will listen to him.
All right.
Because that's how you terrorize little kids. Just like a blender you're never going to do anything with.
Right.
Let's try and get it out of him. This guy's got stories somewhere. It is the just unabashed love.
I'm not winning this fight. It seems like I feel
not with me.
Yeah,
You'll never change my perception of it.
Yeah. You'll never change mine. Nobody can change mine.
Kudos to you for having watched it.
I watched it again. It was torture. Legitimately torture. Like it's just not a film that in any way, shape, or form is enjoyable to me. I can't explain it. I really can't. I know there are people who swear, and most of my friends live and die by this movie, and I hate the shit out of this thing.
I just feel like something bad happened to you listening to a Cyndi Lauper song.
And I love
and as soon as
Cyndi
that
Lauper.
comes on, you're like, boom, I don't like this movie. Subconsciously, it has affected you.
I like Cyndi Lauper. I have her 12 Deadly Sins Greatest Hits album. I'm a big fan of Cyndi Lauper. But this film. I tried.
It's
I was
a
like,
gem.
let me try and watch it again. Let me keep an open mind. And see if maybe
I don't believe that happened.
It's true. I tried.
I'm sure you tried to give yourself a pep talk to do that.
I did. I really did.
Do I think you actually managed to accomplish that? No, I think you came in and you're like, oh, as soon as the first thing you didn't like came up. Yes. You still sat through it, so good on you.
I did.
Fans, feel free if you want to. I will do the same thing. If you ever choose a movie that he loves and I hate, I will do the same thing that he did today.
Yeah, where are we? Are we at 30 minutes? Where are we at on the timer?
Yeah, we're right about there.
I mean, I just, that's the thing. I think it's good. Like, you have Robert Davi, you have Joey Pantoliano, you have Anne Ramsey, great actors who were doing great stuff at the time in the 80s, and of course, still working. Joey Pants. Robert Davi shows up every once in a while, and Anne Ramsey passed away.
Yeah.
So you've got a good group, but none of it is ever believable. And like when they pull the gun on he shoots the thing out. They all wait for him to get dragged to them. Then she drops the gun. You're like, what is this? What is this?
Okay.
Like at some point, I'm just like, this is fucking stupid because none of this is believable. And so therefore, if I can't even buy into the premise of the movie that there's danger and all this kind of shit, then I can't even enjoy the movie at all because none of it's believable to me.
Well, okay. Well, the prosecution then is rested. The defense will close.
Yes, go ahead.
I think I don't have to sing the praises of this movie because this thing is an absolute 80s masterpiece. This is something that is timeless, that you could show to kids in 10 years, and it's still the magic of it will translate 100% because it's worked on numerous generations now, on 2 or 3 separate movie-going generations going into our 4th. Because it only has to be every 10 years or so. There's another young generation that you can do this all new with, and I think it's one of those that as long as they're shown as a child, they will love this movie because it is an utterly charming, fun, engaging, just kids movie. Wow. It is a gem. That's all I'm about to say about that. I don't even know what that sentence meant, but I said it.
That's all I got to say.
It's a gem. What we forgot to say at the top of the episode is so that's Thunderdome.
Right.
We hope you enjoyed it. Thank you to Martin, Chris, and Anthony so much for being Patreon members.
Yes.
And for setting up this ruse for John. It was fantastic.
I hate you all.
Tip my cap to you.
For making me watch this movie again.
We forgot to announce at the top of the show that the end of the show was going to be our NBA All-Star ballot.
Hey-o.
So between the two of us, we'll have a top 10 ballot, and I can submit it.
Yes.
And officially put it up there.
So if you don't want to listen to this,
go ahead and turn it off.
You can turn it off right now.
We're going to talk NBA.
A little bit.
10 minutes. All-Star balloting.
Yeah.
And that's it. So when we're recording this, they just put out the new ballots, and Steph and the new results rather. Yep. Steph and LeBron are the leading vote getters.
No surprise.
So they're going to choose. Mm-hmm. The 5 starters as of right now in the West are Steph and Harden, and then KD. Anthony Davis and Draymond Green has snuck into 3rd.
Wow.
Yes. So Boogie has dropped to 4th.
What?
And then in the East, it is Kyrie and DeRozan for your 2 guards.
This makes sense.
And your 3 front court players are LeBron, Giannis, and then Embiid.
Joel Embiid.
Joel Embiid is number 3.
Wow. Okay.
So where do you want to start, the East or the West?
Let's start in the West. Let's start in the East. We should end with the good ones. Let's start in the East.
Start in the East.
Yeah.
I think the 2 guard positions, for me, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, Kyrie and
DeRozan.
Yeah, DeRozan.
I think those
are killing it this year.
Yeah, they're leading their teams.
Yeah.
They're having fantastic seasons. They haven't missed any real time.
No thought on Kyle Lowry at all?
No, I think even he was just like Wall said the other day that if you had to vote one All-Star off this team, it'd be Beal.
Yeah.
In his opinion.
Yeah.
He just said Beal's been our MVP this year.
Wow.
And I don't know if Beal said something back, but I just saw that from Wall.
Right.
I think that team would vote that DeRozan is their MVP personally.
Yep.
So I think that's a no-brainer. Those 2.
Okay. Makes sense.
And 2 of the 3 forwards I think are no-brainers.
Which are
Giannis and Bron.
The Greek Freak and LeBron James. So you think Joel Embiid, because Joel's been getting injured too. He's been half in, half out the first half of the season.
As of right now, they're not in the playoffs.
Right.
So there are...
For all the hype and talk,
exactly,
they're not in the playoffs.
No, but they could easily climb back into the 8th spot or something. Mm-hmm. Pacers, I think, are currently in 8th. They could drop out.
Right.
Detroit could end up dropping out. I'm not buying this Miami resurgence. Now Deion Waiters is going to be out for the season.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's
Shit.
done. But I don't like that team as it's constructed.
Right.
At least to do well.
Hassan is the great enigma of that fucking team because, like, he had all this promise, and then he either regresses or he can't be consistent, and it's super frustrating. The guy could be one of the greatest players in the NBA, but he can't stay consistent in his play, in his level of play.
Yeah.
And that, on a center, in a constantly changing league that is moving away all the time from centers, it's a surprise to me that he is even remotely thinking that he can survive in this league this way.
Well, considering at positions 3 and 4 on that list are Embiid then Porzingis. That's where the center is going.
Yeah.
So if you can't shoot threes, then you need to utterly dominate the paint.
Yeah.
Like nobody's business. And you're right. I mean, that's a lot of hustle for a big guy. That is a lot of work. I don't even know how long your career would be if that's what you're tasked with doing in today's NBA.
Exactly.
Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know who's in that third. Like, yeah, I understand Embiid's a popularity contest. Porzingis has played more.
I would put Porzingis in. The unicorn's amazing.
What about Horford?
Al Horford?
He is, to me, almost on some level just as important as Kyrie because he helps the mechanics of the passing defense and like the unselfishness to get the ball moving and everything like that.
Sure, but his stats have gone down over the last month and a half.
Okay.
People are dropping him left and right in fantasy, man. He's like ranked 226 in fantasy over the last 14 days. So
yeah, but I'm saying his impact as a player, especially on the number 1 team in the East, is that worth something?
I don't think if you already have Kyrie, man, because Porzingis is the Kyrie of the Knicks, and Porzingis is your unicorn along with Giannis. So if you're gonna have anybody who knows how to pass, knows how to rebound, knows how to shoot threes, knows how to drive the paint, that's all Porzingis.
Yeah.
With Horford, you just get a good passer and at times a post-up player, but he ain't gonna pop out and hit too many threes like at the level that Porzingis
He's shooting,
does.
I think, 42% from 3 this year.
But how many threes does he have compared to Porzingis? That's the thing.
I don't know, but like the last 4 games, Porzingis has been outscored by Beasley. Ever since he complained.
Beasley's insane right now.
Yeah, that's not going to last.
Is that platelets? What is that?
I don't know. But
when the fuck did he show up again?
I think you're right that Porzingis is the more deserving candidate of those 3. Yeah. I'm just saying, are there any names that we're forgetting? Because I think that position is the only one that is wide open.
Okay.
Because then you could say another Celtic then, Brown or Tatum, although I think Tatum would be considered a guard.
Yeah. And Brown's kind of fallen back down again.
Yeah, but he had a good game today.
Anybody else from the Sixers?
Not at that position.
No.
Ben Simmons would be a guard. He's number 3 in voting for guards in the East.
Simmons can't hit threes to save his fucking life. It drives me nuts.
Dude, once he gets a shot, though, that dude is going to be MVP candidate in the discussion every year.
Once he figures it out. Oh, my God, the Raptors beat the Cavaliers 133-99 tonight. Jesus.
Cavaliers can't play defense. That's their Achilles heel.
I'm a little worried that it's going to fall apart, man. I really do for the Cavs. Vucevic. Well, Vucevic was killing it for Orlando. He would have been something I
yeah, but I can't take somebody that's not even in the playoff discussion.
Yeah, but if they're playing great.
Yeah, but if you're going to do that, then I'll take Embiid, even though he hasn't played the same number of games.
Yeah, but Embiid's an injury concern all the time. That's what pushes him back down.
Okay, if you're drafting, who do you want? Those are your 2 choices.
Embiid or Porzingis?
Oh, I thought you were still talking about Vooch.
No, of course Embiid over Vooch.
Yeah, over Porzingis.
Not over Porzingis.
If Embiid could stay healthy, I'd take Embiid.
Yeah, if you knew, but that's a big if.
If you knew you'd get the same number of games, I think I'd take Embiid.
Right. That's a big if, though, man. Now, what about what's his face for Detroit?
What, Drummond?
Yeah,
his free throws are up.
Andre Drummond's a possibility.
I still take Porzingis over him.
Yeah,
that's the thing. There's a bunch of weird teams because then like Oladipo,
because everyone's making transitions,
but there's nobody else on the Pacers. Then there's it's like a bunch of that jazz.
Well. Yeah, and all
right, I'm fine with Porzingis then.
It has to be Porzingis, man. Let me see here.
He's played more games than Embiid.
Yeah,
And he's got to carry that on his own, although Nicotina or Nicolina or whatever that guy's name is pretty decent, actually.
Tatum is a
two guard?
Yeah, strong forward.
He's a small forward?
Small forward, yeah.
All right, then Brown is the two guard, then I guess.
Yeah.
So then Tatum would...
Brown is the shooting guard, yep.
Tatum would count.
Right.
I don't know. That team seems so fluid. You could have told me it was the other and be like, okay.
Yeah.
Even though I watched them today.
There's no way you can't have... You got to have the two unicorns, man. There's no way. Or else... I think Embiid... If you're going to legitimately play a 5-on-5, man.
I just can't believe New York hasn't voted him in as the third spot.
Porzingis?
Yeah.
Yeah. As
All
a
right.
city?
Yeah, I can't think of anybody better than Porzingis. That's fine. Embiid in that spot is just like, you've missed some games.
Yeah.
And your team is not in the playoffs right now.
Yeah. I think that matters, dude. I think you're right. I think that matters.
It's an all-star. It's like, are you leading your team? Or are you pushing them to excellence?
Yep. Yeah, I can't believe Toronto is coming back up again, man. It's amazing, man.
Dude, their offense is drastically different from last year. They pass the ball. Yeah. They're shooting way more threes. Yeah. Like it's really interesting to watch them.
29-11, dude. That's
I don't know if it's sustainable or if it'll really translate in the playoffs because unfortunately it seems like game one of every series, Lowry and DeRozan, historically speaking, crap the bed.
That's true.
Maybe this new style will break them out of that. I have no idea. But that's like clockwork. Every year in the playoffs, whatever the series is, they will lose game one.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So the West.
All right, the West.
West, I think the two guards are no-brainers.
Right, Curry and
Harden.
Harden, yeah. Where's Russell?
He's in third. You tell me you take him over either of those two? I don't.
I would take Russell over Harden. I really would.
Harden's team is number 2 in the league.
I know.
All thanks to him. Chris Paul has missed huge minutes. He's putting up numbers, assists. That team is playing. Westbrook wishes that was his team. That's the difference.
That's true.
And it's all hinging upon Harden. I just, as much as I love watching Westbrook play, of the two players, I enjoy him so much more just because of the kinetic nature of how he plays.
Right.
And the raw aggression and everything.
Well, I have that with Westbrook. That's what I love about Westbrook.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I love.
Okay, yeah.
Of the two, ostensibly, in a vacuum, sure.
Aesthetically, he's so much more fun to watch.
He is. Yeah. It's not even close.
Yeah, I agree.
But if we're talking about who is having the most impact and he's in the MVP discussion and
definitely
it's Harden.
The beard. It's the beard, yeah. All right, so then Kawhi's been hurt, so San Antonio, I don't think has anybody they can throw up in there.
I would say LaMarcus.
You really would in the center spot?
100%. Wow. His stats are up this year. They're in third place when they shouldn't be. They keep losing guys, and he keeps playing and carrying them.
So you would okay. Obviously, Anthony Davis.
I don't even know if I go AD.
What?
I think it's KD, and then after that, it's a discussion of who you want next.
So KD, Harden, Curry.
Well, Curry and Harden are the two guard spots. Three front courts are KD.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Wow.
I'm not buying because when it was Boogie and Anthony, it's like they're not even in the playoffs right now, and you're sending two.
No, but they've
snuck in. I think they're in the eighth spot
right now by one game.
But Boogie's in fourth in voting, and just like there's still almost two of these.
Boogie can move away. I don't consider Boogie.
The thing is, though, statistically speaking, Boogie's having the better season.
Yes, but when they're together, their defense is incredible. Those two when they're playing together. When Boogie sits or when AD sits, the defense is horrible. Boogie is terrible on fucking defense. Like the NBA Reddit goes insane whenever Boogie plays defense, man. There are so many videos of him just lollygagging up and down the court.
Yeah, that shit gets old.
How old are you to still keep pouting at this fucking age and this many NBA years? It's ridiculous.
It's just, unfortunately, he is who he is.
Yeah.
And
that's what we've talked about, the possibility of him coming to Washington. I don't want that on the fucking Wizards.
Unless, the thing is, though, like watching Boogie on Team USA, when he's surrounded by guys that he respects, he is willing to do whatever it takes to win.
Right.
So I think if you put him with John Wall, him and John seem to genuinely have some sort of a friendship.
Yeah.
So and that's John's team, if he knew that going in and be like, this is what you're doing, and be like, done.
That's a lot to ask of a guy to sit back, you know?
The only person I've ever heard floated in the NBA that he would be willing to do that with.
Well, I would definitely put AD above Boogie for so many reasons. And I think AD is better without Boogie, to be honest with you. He can move freer.
Hypothetically, his ceiling is as high as anybody's.
Well, and the reason they play so well on defense is AD cleans up where Boogie gets lazy. AD shuts down the lanes, the backdoor stuff. He goes out to the 3-point line. He does a lot of stuff to cover for Boogie on defense. Offensively, those two are incredible.
Yeah, I got to watch more games because statistically speaking, Boogie averages. The only thing he doesn't average more than is it's either steals or blocks, one of the two. But it's only by a half of one per game.
Yeah,
I think it's blocks.
Yeah,
but he averages more steals, rebounds, assists, points. Like you name the metric, and he is over AD.
Right.
But at the same time, if the numbers also indicate when AD ain't on the floor, it drops off precipitously, then sure.
Man, this is the West is an interesting conversation, man, because Jimmy Butler has been killing it this year, man.
Yeah, but he's a two-guard.
They're running the defense. They're running the offense through him.
Tibbs is running them into the ground just like he did the Bulls.
Yes, man. I don't know. What is this obsession these people have to play for, dude?
Now people are flopping back to, well, it gets results and be like, yeah, until one of them ends up being Noah.
Yeah.
Or one of them ends up
Rose.
being Ding or Rose.
Yep.
Or, yeah, exactly. Just a body that can't take that.
Right.
But seems to be built that way. That's fine.
Yeah.
But do you want to try this with Karl Anthony Towns? I don't.
The Wiggins is regressing.
Yeah. Well, it's because Butler is flourishing.
Yeah. And they have to. He had to. Because that's what they were so uneven at the beginning of the year. Once they realized they had to run the offense through Jimmy, everything changed, and they started going on these win streaks, and that's the difference, And the Cat's playing all right, but I don't think he's playing enough to
all-star. Yeah, he's
anyone. Not. Don't you think?
No, I don't think he's an all-star.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Who else is so? Okay, so what have we got locked down again? Russell Westbrook. No, not Russell. Steph Curry, James Harden, KD, and then we need two. I say
two.
AD. You don't say AD.
That's fine, but give me then LaMarcus in the last spot. Because I think right now he's like in 9th, and that is a travesty because the Spurs are in 3rd place, and it is, look at his stats. He is carrying that team. Now, at the same time, it's like a different guy steps up every night, but the one that is consistent through all of that, if you look through, is usually, I would say 90% of the time, it is LaMarcus Aldridge getting his 20 to 24, X number of boards, this every night.
You don't even consider Gasol.
No.
Right.
Not even close.
And Nowitzki's picked it up again.
No.
I'd love to find an excuse to slide Donovan Mitchell in as a point guard because Donovan's fantastic.
Never going to happen.
Yeah, I know, man. He's really good though, dude. And of course, Dame. It's hard to leave Lillard off.
Once again, another year.
God damn,
he's turning into the new version of Mike Conley.
Yeah.
Just you know what, man? You are good enough to be an all-star. It's just these other dudes are better.
Yeah.
If he was in the East, he'd be in the discussion even more so.
Holy crap. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I like him and McConnell.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they're never, unless they win a championship, they're never going to elevate up. Unless they lead if they're in 1st or 2nd in the West next year, then Dame makes it. But so long as they're somewhere between 6 and 8.
Yeah, you're right. LaMarcus is killing it.
He is. He is and it's
fuck. All right.
This is the fan vote of I'm picking. I know this name, and that's the reason that Boogie and AD and others. Draymond snuck in.
Yeah.
If you want to give me 3 from the Warriors, that's fine because they've earned it on some level for me.
Fuck that.
Okay.
I don't like Draymond. I'll take Aldridge over Draymond any day of the week.
If you were going to include Draymond for me, then AD would have to bump off.
Yeah.
And that's not going to happen.
All right, so that's our 5 right there, dude.
Yeah.
I'll give you LaMarcus as much as
I think he deserves it.
Concerns me, but yeah.
The fact that they're this good and Kawhi's played 7 games or something ridiculous.
Kawhi's killing 3 of my fantasy teams.
He tore his shoulder.
Yeah. Now he tore his shoulder.
And guess what? They're going to continue to hum along at a 700, win rate or whatever the hell they're at right now, or 650.
They're the Patriots of
the
NBA. They really are, man. Just plug and play.
20 years of this.
Yep.
Just every year you can count on them as long as the system and Pop and everything and Buford and they've had their core guys. I hope Ginobili doesn't retire. He's still good.
He's still doing it.
Parker's lost a step. But Ginobili could still play.
Yeah. All right. Is that our ballots?
I'll put it up and then I'll figure out. I'll do it through like our email account and then I'll post it on Twitter and stuff like that. So it'll be officially from the Top 10 show. So by the time they hear this,
we'll have contributed some way to the NBA All-Star game.
Sure.
Awesome.
And I'll post it. This comes out Sunday. I'll post it like Monday or something.
Oh, cool.
That way we won't be done until after they've heard this show.
Awesome. All right, well, that's our Thunderdome.
Thunderdome.
Thank you so much for listening to us and for dealing with my hate of the Goonies. I appreciate it. And our NBA
Nothing but
talk.
love on this side of the table.
If you stayed this long. As always, follow Matt at Matt Nost. Follow me at The Roca Says. Join our Facebook group over there.
Facebook.com/groups/the top 10 show with the number 10.
There you go. And if you want to be considered for this Thunderdome in the future, you can donate to our Patreon there, www.patreon.com/the top 10, the number 10. And you'll see the different tiers where you can donate. And there's a tier there, the $20 tier, I think it is, or $25 tier.
20 for Thunderdome.
$20 tier for Thunderdome. You can pick a topic.
You get a topic.
Pick a movies.
Well, potentially you could get chosen in a random lottery,
right?
And then you get a shout out, and then whatever we post there, we got. For next year, right now, we're already trying to line up a ton of different guests.
Yes.
And we'll be posting more stuff to the Patreon there when we have guests on, doing random stuff for the Patreon to post there.
Yeah.
We'll be more active on that.
Yeah.
But we're just slowly stepping up. So we give the Patreon people a decent amount.
Yeah.
Like so far.
Absolutely.
So we just consist on that and just adding little flourishes here and there just as a way to thank you and make it worthwhile for all of you out there that have been so generous. Right now, it's like 175 or something.
Wow.
Patrons, individual patrons.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Really.
So it'd be awesome to see that number at 200.
Or 1,000.
Or 1,000.
Get on it, people.
Whatever the case is.
We're giving you free entertainment.
At $1 a piece, and then we'll just do all this stuff.
We're better than
free.
cable. God damn it. All right, that's my feeling. I apologize for yelling. All right, there it is. Thanks, everyone, for listening to Thunderdome. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.